This is Greg Noyes of Pacific West Home Inspections, and today is July 2nd, Wednesday, about 4 in the afternoon, doing a house in Northridge, up in the hills there. And at the right exterior of the house, I'm going to show you how to shut off the gas and the electricity, and the very front of the house is how to shut off the valve for the water. So this first thing we're going to cover is the gas, and the pipe coming up from the slab here is your gas line from the street, and you turn this valve 90 degrees and it'll shut off the gas. You'll need a wrench for it, and the City of LA requires to have a seismic gas shutoff valve, and this is what this thing is here. So on a 5.4 earthquake, it'll automatically shut off, and then this is the reset screw here. And continue on over here, we have the main electrical panel. I took the cover off, but you notice that the labels are all missing here. And here is your main disconnect. So you flip the breaker over here to the right, and that will shut off all your power to all the rest of the breakers. But we do like to see the breakers labeled so you know what's going on here. And just a little side note here, there's a cable box, and the cover here is missing, and we like to see a cover on that so water does not get in the wall. On the outside of the house, you also have a tankless water heater, a Tagagi. It's 199,000 BTU, and it's not the largest, and we had a little conversation about that earlier, and so it may not be enough capacity for all your plumbing fixtures. There are things I do like about the system. They used flexible stainless steel gas line, and then they used a flexible water line, so a lot of times we see it rigid, and during a shaker it may not work as well. And so Tagagi is a good brand, and the only thing I would have question on is this pressure relief valve. When it drains over your main electrical panel, so you may want to extend the pipe down where it comes down to the side here away from your electrical panel. The next thing we'll look at is how to shut off the water. So the very front of the house, you have a 1-inch copper line coming up, and off to the side of it you see a red handle, and you pull that up and that shuts off the water. There's also a pressure regulator, that's that black plastic cup, and it does have a pressure relief valve, which these are things we like to see. So next thing I'm going to do is check the pressure, make sure the pressure regulator is working. So on the hot side of the water system, you have 58 pounds pressure, and that's well below the 80 pounds, which would be the highest. So 55 to 60 is a good range, so you're doing good here. The pressure regulator is working. Typically they have a life of about 8 years, so if one morning you feel like you're having more water come out of your faucets, then it's time to change your pressure regulator. So the roofer has been here today. He was here when I was here earlier, and there's quite a few conditions, defects he found. And this is a older roof, and his main concern is what's underneath the roof. We use a roofing paper, 30 weight, and that deteriorates over time. So you're getting on to 30, 35 years with it. But you can see this one tile has been repaired, and there's no repairs for these, they have to be replaced. And up under this eave here, he'll have photos in his report about an opening. So I'm on the rear right side of the roof, or by your chimney in the family room. And you can see the slip tile here. The nail is loose, come down a couple inches, and This is the area where the roofer pulled back and checked your underlayment, found it was deteriorated. And then also under the tiles here in this area here, we call it drip seal. So water, when it comes down in the morning, moisture slides off this. It doesn't come down on the wood. A little hard to see. Now you can see a little better. We don't want water to come down on the wood here, so they put a piece of metal here. It's called a drip seal. And so your termite guy, when they pull your roof off, there'll be deteriorated plywood in that area. And if you look at the angle of the roof as it comes down, it basically goes on a good rain. It'll flow right over your gutter. So the gutter is set too low as well. So there's a couple things, and so please read your report from the roofer. On the rear of the house, you have a balcony, and it has a membrane surface on it, so you want to recoat it every 5 years or so. So it appears to be recently recoated, and the guardrails here, the spacing's larger than 4 inches, so you have to put some mesh up. And the height, they're low. The newer requirements are at 42. As for the drinking college students falling off balconies, so if you keep the alcohol away from your kids, you won't have anybody slip off. But I want to pull the camera around, and I'm standing on the asphalt composition shingle patio roof, and the roofer talked about it earlier. When you have a 212 or less pitch of a roof, you shouldn't use these composition shingles. What happens, rain and wind will come down here a little bit. The wind will push water up under the shingles, so that's why they want to see more of a pitch. There is a exception if you have 2 layers of 15 weight paper, then you can use them, but most people never put them on the 2 layers of 15 weight paper. So again, like he said, peel and stick, cap sheet, torch down, hot mopped on type of roofing, 90 weight cap sheet is what you want to use here. And there's going to be where the metal conduit goes down through the roof, you'll have to put some mastic on these areas here. That's a potential water leak. After this section of the video, there's going to be several photos with captions on it, and they're more of the predominant defects I found at the house. But please read the whole report. And this is where animals can get up inside there. The tiles have all slipped in that area. It's really hard to nail, so that's a very common occurrence. And then if you look down, you'll see several other slip tiles. There's quite a few slip tiles. So the roof is in need of maintenance, and there's a couple broken or missing edge rake tiles as well. So on this, please read his report. Again, this is Greg Noyes, Pacific West Home Inspections, and I can be reached at 818-271-0417.